Good evening. Welcome to the October 9th, 2019 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being broadcast live, and it's also available on auburnguide.com. And before we begin, I want to ask, is anyone in the audience or here at the table recording the meeting tonight?
No.
Okay, that being said, we're going to open the meeting with 7 o'clock public hearing for Green Hill Engineering, a notice of intent for septic system repair on property located at 20 Tinker Hill Road in Auburn. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Mark Farrell, Green Hill Engineering, and I'm the applicant's representative. This is an existing property on Tinker Hill Road. It's a small dwelling and a small lot. It's probably built right after World War II. Currently it has a cesspool behind the house, and at some point in the recent time it's been connected to town water. But I believe there might possibly be an old well on the site. So basically this plan is to bring the system into compliance with Title V, which will involve putting a new 1,500 gallon, 2-compartment septic tank, and then a gravity down to a leach field that's kind of behind the house. To the rear of the property is a wetland that's been delineated, and so the system will be slightly raised because of the water table, and there's some ledge in the back. So there'll be some grading below the system, and below all of the work area, proposing to have straw wattles to put in place during the construction. And then approximately in this area, we believe there might possibly be an original dug well. And the time putting the septic system in, they're going to identify that area, and if it hasn't been abandoned properly, they'll abandon it according to Board of Health regulations.
Where's the 25-foot buffer on that?
This
Green line?
is 25 feet right here, the green line. So it's an existing lot. It's very small. There's not a lot of, options here. Title V is 50 feet from a wetland for a septic, for a leach field, but you can get a local upgrade down to 25. And we've gotten those local upgrades from the Board of Health. And it's actually going to be an improvement for what's been there for years, because it's an existing cesspool that's back here, so it's going to be replaced with a Title V compliant system.
This is what we went to.
I was just gonna say, is this the one we went and looked at? Okay, all right, cool. All right.
So, all right.
They're putting it in the only spot that we saw.
Yeah, but you could actually possibly put it
There's
in.
nowhere else to put it.
No, it's really not. There's no town sewer available. I think it's on Route 20 somewhere, so I think that whole neighborhood is
Yeah.
probably on septic.
Besides straw wattle on the work,
Excuse me?
besides the straw wattle on the project boundary, what else are we gonna do to protect the wetlands while you're like right up against the edge of it? I mean, there isn't even a 10-foot buffer that
On that
you're
corner.
avoiding. If you could, is there a way to give us a little bit?
Well, I think straw
of-
wattle should be sufficient. I mean, there's no convergence of water across the site, so it's not
Right,
like
but
a
is-
high erosion.
Would it at all be possible to bring those corners in so you're not coming right up
These
against?
straw wattles?
No, the work area, like, is that gonna be disturbed all the way next to the?
Well, this is a grading, a very minor grading here, and here we're probably 15 feet. It's a previously disturbed area. It's,
Efforts to restore it afterwards, like, I just wanna know.
oh yeah, no, they'll definitely restore it back. The loam and seed it afterwards,
Yeah,
can mulch it,
if you could just
yeah.
discuss that.
Do you
that
know
would
when
make
you're
us
looking to
feel
start the
better.
work, sir?
I don't know when. I mean, they might probably sooner than later. And they can, mulch it if it's over the winter months. But again, there's not like we have a lot of water coming across the site. They're not excessive grades when they're
Right.
done grading the system. This is going to be relatively flat, and then it's going to have the similar topography to what's there now, but just lifted up.
How many feet does it have to come up to be?
Right here it's probably coming up 1.5 feet, 2 feet.
Gotcha.
Here's the 94 contour,
You never
this
know
is a
those.
92 contour. So right over here, 3 feet in this corner is the worst. about 1.5 feet on this corner over here.
Any other questions from the board?
I don't have any.
Do we have any public comment on this? And that being said, could I have a motion?
Make a motion to close the hearing on the 20 Tinker Hill Road hearing for the notice of intent.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Take a vote, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
It's a vote? Very good, thank you
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good
night.
evening.
Thank you.
Take care, Mark.
Someone's writing
Good to see you.
this down.
Nice to see you. Take care of yourself.
Arlene's gonna have her take the recording and send it to her. We might have a candidate.
What's that?
Even though she's the other person, but, you know.
Okay.
Thank you. And
Okay, 7:07, the next public hearing, the applicant is Impact Fitness. Andrew Lawton, a request to amend the order of conditions.
Good evening, Mr.
Good
Chairman.
evening.
Thank you. I'm Mike Sullivan from Cornerstone Engineering. Andy Lawton is here as well, who is the applicant. We're here tonight primarily because of the business's success. There's a tremendous parking problem over there, and they've researched 7 or 8 different options to try and alleviate that problem. And Andy can certainly go over those if the commission is interested in that. But we are trying to expand the parking. It's going to be expanded up in here, which is outside the 100-foot buffer. And we're also trying to propose additional parking spaces, 15 parking spaces added to what's currently there in what is shown in red. The 25-foot buffer is the red dashed line, so clearly we'll be working in the buffer. And the green, I'm sorry, was I blocking you up there? And the green is the 50-foot buffer. The 100-foot buffer is out in here. The proposal, currently where we're proposing the parking is riprap primarily. There is some grass in this area here, but it's predominantly riprap. So we're working in a disturbed area. There will be 0 disturbance of undisturbed area. So it's essentially replacing the riprap with pavement. There's a long retaining wall proposed at the perimeter of the parking. Obviously, the increase in impervious, we have to mitigate the drainage issues associated with that. Currently, there's a subsurface system here with a series of 48-inch diameter pipe. There's going to be an additional 45-foot long 48-inch diameter pipe located here that would connect to the existing system. There is a storm scepter currently, and all the water will be directed from the deep sump catch basin to the storm scepter, so the quality of water that's being discharged into the system will certainly be improved from just the sheet runoff. Erosion control is shown in yellow, and as I said initially, we are disturbing within the 25-foot buffer, and that's 1,750 square feet that would be in that buffer zone. So we understand that the request we're making is something that the board probably generally doesn't look to encourage. The safety issues out there as a result of the lack of parking are huge. So we thought it was appropriate to come in and at least have a discussion with the commission to see if we could work something out to alleviate that parking issue.
how many are you putting on the other side?
How many spaces here? There'll be 15 here,
15 on the other side?
in front of the building, yes.
Okay.
Just an orientation, Route 20 is here, Mulberry Street is here.
And, sorry.
I was going to say, because I think, like, what you're looking to disturb abuts another property that, and isn't there a channel, it's not riprap, isn't there a channel that runs in between there? There's
No,
no
this is-
channel
this
that's
is-
in there? Because I thought we
The edge of the
blocked-
parking lot right now is about in here, and if you look over that wall, it's all riprap.
Okay.
There's no channel there. Would you like Andy to go over what they've researched before we got here, or is that irrelevant? I don't want to waste your time.
We're gonna have to go out and look at it
Yeah.
anyways, right? But
I mean, I
thought
have
we-
the same question, you know, is there possibility of having a 10-foot no disturb zone that you can abide to? Like, why does it have to go right up to the edge of the wetland?
Again, we're trying to maximize the parking because it's such a problem out there, and
But what's happening where like, what is that little corner? What
Right
is-
here?
Yes, exactly.
what do you mean,
What's happening there? Because it doesn't look like it's parking, it's, oh,
well,
it's riprap
there's
apron.
parking here, and there's parking here, and when you have diagonal parking like that, there's just a little triangle in the middle. But
Right.
there is a discharge
Yeah, I
point
was
through the
looking at
wall, if that's what
opposite-
you're
yeah, the
referring
other side
to.
of it, yes.
Yeah, so, yeah, it will be discharged at this corner here.
That's where
That's where it's proposed to be
Gotcha.
discharged. So you haven't walked it? Is-
we did walk it.
Oh, you did?
So it was a
Yeah,
while
when
back,
we, yeah, when we originally did this, we walked it, and then I think
We
we
walked
walked
it
it
again
backwards.
when they were gonna do the development on the other side there, where the guy was gonna
Sears,
put,
yeah. Sear Electrics.
Right,
When he
the
was
neighbor,
selling
yep.
to the neighbor.
Peril.
Right, we worked it the
Peril
other
Construction
way.
was gonna do something there, yep.
Yeah, they looked to purchase this this parcel here. They actually gave him the asking price offer, they never got back to him, and it fell apart. Is that correct, Andy?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So,
I could be remembering.
it's, you know, we were hoping we could, and I know it's not your issue, but, you know, with the traffic problem and people parking all over the place, and the police have certainly expressed their opinion to get more parking, we thought it was at least worth coming in and speaking with you
Yeah.
guys. Andy, is there anything else you want to add? Okay.
And you haven't looked at possibly doing, just, you know,
How many parking spots are there now?
I think right now we have 84.
Yeah, because any time I've ever gone by there, it's always packed, even early in the morning. So you guys are doing great, which is awesome.
It's good.
But there's definitely a need for parking there. I'm just speaking
I
for
agree.
myself.
My friends go there and they're always talking about it, how it's hard to park there too, so I'm with you on that, I know there is. But, like, maybe doing that seems like you're gonna have to do a lot of fill, I'm assuming,
Oh, absolutely.
okay? Which is gonna probably be costly with the retaining wall.
This is going to be very costly, but when compared to the alternatives,
Of-
it's a saving.
Have you
Of
looked at
buying other
maybe
land.
doing, yeah, but have you looked at possibly doing like a raised, like a second, like
Yeah.
a story over?
If you could just entertain 1 second so Andy could go over what he
Okay.
has looked at.
All right.
Andy, just walk through what you just told me, come on up here. What,
So we looked at several options. So the first option that we did in January, obviously prime time for clubs, was the valet. We brought valet in, tried to help out. It was about $7,000 a month. Helped a little bit, but at the same time caused just as much traffic issues. Because they were parking them, people weren't leaving on time. That didn't work. We looked at getting the land across the street. We gave cash asking price, no return. We looked at building a parking garage. The price in that and even being feasible was just almost as much as buying land. It was over $1 million to do that. We looked at
let me just cut in. We've done parking garages before, and believe it or not, it's 17,000 to 20,000 per space.
Per space, yeah.
So it's just nuts.
Yeah.
we looked at we looked at bringing in car jacks. So what we bring car jacks so you can stack cars. I think each one was between 50 and 70,000 per space. Plus you need a trained, certified individual to run it at all times. So we go, yeah, let's do it just for staff. We'll bring in raised parking for staff. Same issue. We looked at leasing because the same company that owns the land here also owns where the Reliant used to be.
Yeah.
Looked at leasing the space there. We'll lease the space. We'll put something else,
Right.
shop at something fun, but be able to maybe put a crosswalk across Millbury Street and have additional parking.
Right,
That is a thought. We talked to I think the plan more about it. Even the police chief prefer to have parking on site. Obviously,
Safety.
being so close to the light, you queue the traffic. It's not ideal. Even putting a crosswalk further down from the light, you're still crossing the road. So like, members now they park across the street. They park on Inter 20. We tell them, hey, don't do it. It's not safe. So we're trying to find ways to make it safe for the members to get more parking, so that everyone can get in and get out.
right.
So we looked at multiple different options. We even looked at moving the building at one point. We had talked to the furniture building across from BJ's, it's been vacant for a while. They asked we couldn't come to an agreeable price point per square foot for what we needed. Plus the parking, they had expansion ability, but it wasn't done yet, so that was a big talking point too. Like, yes, they could get 125, but right now they only have the same amount we have now. That was a big conversation of what they wanted to do. So we looked at tons of different options, and we came down to this where, you know, what can we get on our property? Obviously, the front part is ideal for us. It's easier build out, cost effective. It doesn't affect any of the wetlands. It doesn't affect the actual operations of the company because we can build out without disturbing it out and shut down the lot. Moving the retaining wall, doing this isn't ideal, but we want to look at all options where if we have to expand. You know, 'cause right now, the club this size should probably fit in about 4,000 members. That's what the projections are. Right now with our parking, we're maxing out at half. So that puts a discussion on the life of the company of what can the parking handle based off prime times, not prime times, and seasonal as well too.
So that's a problem too. So 30 extra spaces isn't really a drop in the bucket for you. If you're looking to increase by 2,000 more members at the end of the day, 30 more spaces is not going to be completely helpful,
So I
you know.
think in the situation we are now, 30 more alleviates a lot of it. A lot of do buys us time to try to find and maybe work out a deal with the abutter. Or we just keep on offering and asking, or look at more options.
It's like a 30% increase, so, you know, it is helpful. It's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna solve everything,
Come
but it'll help.
January, come January, it's not, that won't solve it, like a January, the January, February, March. And all the gyms, I've had multiple clubs or all the gyms, we've got spaces where we have 150 parking, and come January, people can't find anything.
Right.
Everyone kind of gets that in the industry.
Right.
But we're having that type of issue in August and July, where usually between 1 and 4 o'clock, you'll net 10 members check in. We net 130.
Wow.
Which is great. We try to do a great job and be a part of the community building to help and just, we do some sneakers, do a lot of different things, which help the check-ins at odd times. Daycare all day long.
Right.
Also change that as well too. We thought we'd have more time. We knew parking was gonna be an issue. We thought we'd have more time. We didn't realize that it was gonna be so exciting, so quick, which is great. So this issue just creeped up a lot faster than we planned for.
So, like a restoration kind of plan, you know, is there a restoration? I don't think
There really
any
is
place-
nothing
there's
that we
nothing
could really,
place that you can
that's a
actually do
valid
anything.
question, but
There's no restoration
we're kind of
that you can
slammed
do
as it
there.
is, so, yeah, there's nothing being proposed. What I was wondering, I don't know whether, and I haven't even passed this by Andy yet, but I could see you guys wrestling with this. Is there anything in town that you guys are having trouble with that Andy and his people could get involved with to try and use that as mitigation, you know, to offset what we're doing here? I don't know whether there's a reoccurring problem that you're trying to resolve, and maybe they could get involved with help restoring that, or mitigating a problem in town that has been a pain in your back.
Where's the closest stream?
What's that?
I said, where's the
All
closest
the
stream?
streams, all the lakes, yeah.
They all need some cleanup these days.
You know, I mean, if there is some off-site, that's kind of,
Yeah.
I was serious, that, you know,
No,
the
I-
off-site remediation that might be helpful. I think they'd certainly consider something like that.
We do a lot of charity events. We did one when the
Well, not charity events as much as
As
if they're having a
restoration.
problem with some wetlands someplace else in town.
Oh,
Generally, when you do something like this, they're looking for you to replicate, restore, mitigate, you know, give them something. I'm saying if there's another property in town that nobody's doing anything on, that maybe the town owns or has control over, you guys taking
Yeah.
responsibility
The
for
thing is-
that.
The thing is, where they're creating the parking now, they're not really taking any wetland. In other words, they're taking what's riprap right now, and they're just paving it, you know what I mean? As far as like,
Have you considered any impervious
but-
pavement? I mean, pervious pavement?
We have not talked about that.
So they have this pavement that is of coarser grain, and so it allows
water
more
drain.
percolation through it. It's actually really good for just cleaning up and snow and all that
Well, we're
stuff.
trying to get everything back into the storm scepter
Right,
to clean it up that way, so I think that might be counterproductive from that perspective. You know, we want to get into the deep sump catch basins to get the silt out, into
right.
the storm water, and then into the subsurface system.
But, I mean, it's something.
Again, I'm explaining where we're coming from.
You know, if you did it even just along that back edge, those back parking spots, just to allow more runoff to go, storm water, just everything in general, so that it's not, but I understand that the mechanics of the machine is obviously made to make it more, the quality better, so.
Yeah,
But,
We'd certainly
these little
consider
things,
anything.
for me, obviously, I don't know about everyone else, but it does go a long way in some respect.
yeah.
No, that's the other thing. So you'd be hauling the snow away, obviously, because you wouldn't want to store it anywhere on the property, because
Right.
that would, again, take away from your parking spaces.
I think they still have a lot of snow load areas. I know when Vio drew it up, I think we still met all the requirement snow loads and some other spots we had.
Yeah, there are some spots on the property, but, in a large storm, they definitely have to truck it out.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you guys think about doing a site visit? Maybe
Yeah.
not this Saturday because Mike's away, but maybe the following Saturday, which would be the 12th, 19th?
I'm here.
You doing the 19th? Would you be available, Allison?
What am I doing
It's
on
a
the
joke. It's a
19th?
joke. They always tease me because they always said I'm
I
gone.
might not be able to do it in the morning, but I could come by another time probably.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, and just, consider any of these things that we've said, maybe if you, I don't know,
It's up.
any of these things sink in and you want to make any adjustments, but.
Well, we'd be happy to make any adjustments. We certainly would be happy to look at the pervious pavers. We've done those on other projects, and if that's something that the commission would like us to do, we'd certainly be happy to
I mean, I just,
implement a portion of that in the project as well.
right, I mean, it's just nice to see those greener options being presented and trying to persuade those options.
That's fine, hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll go do a site visit.
Site visit on the 19th?
Okay.
Probably like 9 o'clock.
Do you want us there?
If you'd like to be, yeah. I mean, I think it'd be...
And that'd be on the 19th at what time?
9 o'clock?
That's a Saturday?
Yep.
Okay, see you
They
then.
packed, so you know.
You won't be able to
Oh,
find
yeah.
parking.
Well, we're gonna have to park, yeah, that'll be...
We'll park down the street and plug in like we did the
Yeah.
last
Like
time.
your 8 to like 11, 8 to noon is like on Saturdays,
Crowded.
busiest.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
know like, we have Jay Cutler's in town this month, so he's gonna be
I'm
around.
all for later.
So it might be even busier with him being
I
inside
know
the club.
it's Saturday and whatever, but I like later.
I know.
But like later, usually after like noon, like 1, 2 o'clock, I don't know, it's good, but usually after like noon time, it's
not
a little
as
more
bad.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Are you there on
I'm in
Saturday?
the middle of my
I will be at a
garden
wedding,
or
actually.
cooking or
Yeah.
anything.
But,
Yeah.
but any other Saturday, I can be around.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing is just as long as we can take a walk, because I mean, we've walked it a few different times, but just looking at it now will give us a much better idea
We'll
of
take
what you're
one car.
proposing.
We'll
Yeah.
carpool.
However you guys like.
We'll pick you up. Huh?
Okay, all right.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, it's very clear what's going on. When you get out there, the edge of parking is here. There's those large blocks for a wall, and you look over and you'll just see all the riprap that's currently there. So I think it's very clear as to what's
Yeah, I
happening.
think we did it before. Like I
Yeah.
said, we did it when you guys started the project. And then again, there's one, like I said, right behind it. I think that we walked it through the back
We
way.
went out, yeah, we walked way in too. We like
Right?
walked
I think we went through the back way.
where the
So I
transformers
must be
are
just
there.
thinking
Yeah,
of
because
something
that's
else.
over on the backside.
The back,
Yeah.
where the
tip of
transformer
the
is.
island there.
It was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
dry, so we're able to walk in quite a bit, yeah.
Right.
When are you planning on starting to work on this?
As soon as possible.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a surprise answer, huh?
No.
Great, well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna continue
Oh, yeah, we'll continue the
Um,
meeting to the 26th.
23rd,
23rd.
next meeting.
Make a motion that we continue the 314 Washington Street request to amend the order conditions to October 23rd.
Is there a time?
That's
Uh,
7 o'clock.
seven
Perfect, 7
o'clock.
o'clock.
Thank you.
We have that other one.
Yeah, didn't we? Yeah, I
Tinker
think
Hill,
so too.
all
That's what
right,
I
yeah, so why
thought.
don't we go 7:10?
7:10.
7:10?
Perfect.
Thank you.
That's the 23rd at 7:10.
to 7:10.
I know, it's very fun.
Great, thank you again.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
7:25, okay, for discussion. Darlene, made me aware that 390 Southwood Street's going to be on our next agenda for the next meeting.
Okay.
So, let's see, Rochdale Street, I haven't heard anything. I know from the meeting minutes that I read, Mike was going to try to contact Denise Child at Mass DEP, but I haven't heard anything. He's away. Let's see, 33 Sword Street, nothing. I would say we take a look at the meeting minutes, but I have to recuse myself, and there's only 3 here, so we wouldn't be able to approve them, so we'll have to put them on as well.
Okay.
So, is there any other new business, any old business? And could I have a motion?
Do we want to discuss?
Yeah, oh, that's right, we got to issue, getting ahead of myself here.
Or do we want to wait for Mike and vote next week? Can we do that? No.
We should be able to issue it. I mean, they made it as small as they could.
We saw it. We
Yeah,
went
that's
there
what
and
I mean.
looked
You
at
guys
it.
went and
We
looked
went
at
there
it
and looked at it.
in,
It's
like,
pretty
June or
flat.
July,
It's the
yeah.
only place that it
The
can be.
wetland line looked really
Yeah,
good.
Yep.
there's,
I would like to make a request that we try to get more peer reviews of wetland lines, because none of us are wetland scientists.
Mhm.
it's true.
Yeah,
But in this case, I think it's not
for
necessary.
this, yeah, sure, 'cause it's a home, yep, single-family house, and,
And he seemed like he was
Um,
pretty, like, honestly, when we went there and looked at it,
yeah.
but he's right. If they're gonna fix that
As long
well
as they
too at the
restore-
same time.
Restore the ground surface with some vegetation as
Mhm.
quickly as
Yeah.
possible, it
Right.
should be fine.
So I would, put that in. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
do it.
Do we have paperwork and stuff?
Well, that's a good question.
I don't think we do. I
We
wouldn't say
probably
no.
don't. Do we have any, orders and conditions forms, do you know?
Yes.
And we do, see?
Oh, we
Numbers
do.
here. Aha. Yeah, we have Sheila's.
Oh, the magic.
Conservation.
I miss Sheila so much.
Yeah, I know.
Where is she? She's gone.
She's gonna come back
She's
in
gonna come
a few
back.
times and help
Do some
train.
training.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
there we go.
Is this what you're looking for?
Yep,
Okay.
awesome.
All right, I propose that we issue a standard order of conditions for 20 Tinker Hill Road.
I'm gonna take one of these, and I'm actually going to write 20 Tinker Hill on it and put it right with this
I
form
think
here.
that's perfect, why
Yeah.
not? We should always do that.
I know, it's in writing.
Standard order and one? Help me, guys, I don't know.
I think
I'm gonna read these all.
3, yeah, I don't know.
3, 5. There's no riprap, right?
Nope.
No.
8, 9. 11. 12. And we're gonna waive 14, right? Is that, do we need to
Yep,
approve
yep.
14?
And I noticed from the form here that number 2 is already on there, which they did give us an as-built plan. I'm sure they
Okay.
also for the Board of Health,
Yes.
so we have, see that? Standard order plus 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 11, 12, and 14.
Yes.
We have a motion.
That was the motion.
That was
I
a motion.
second it.
You have a second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed, it's a vote.
You could pause for the opposed.
Yeah. You give time.
Pause, opposed. Okay, then.
Like church.
There's nobody else left.
Like,
Oh, yeah, could have a
da-da-da-da.
moment of solemnity.
All right.
All right, so that's done,
Oh, and now we sign.
and now we sign.
We're so good at this, guys.
There was something that I saw too that we were supposed to discuss.
Oh, it was certificate of compliance from an email, right? that
Yes.
Paula
Can
sent
I use
out.
your pen? Thank you.
Do you know anything about that, Darlene? It was a certificate of compliance that Paula sent out. She was asking, we issued orders of conditions back in like March for a property. It was, what was it?
47 Stone.
Is that what you're here for, ma'am?
No, on Board of Health.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're just here for
Moral
any
support.
Moral
questions.
support. Here we go.
So between the both of us, we're trying to get through.
That was 47 Stone Street.
47 Stone Street.
Well,
Well,
have to discuss it.
yeah, we'll discuss that at our next meeting and
Yeah.
plan accordingly. Since there's no other business, could I have a motion?
I move that we close the hearing.
I'll second that.
The meeting. This thing that we're doing.
Do I have a second? Allison, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
It's a vote. Meeting adjourned.
Good night.